This episode of The Libby Show is brought to you by Suite 501 and Integrated Production Solutions.
The Libby Show is the Libby. It's the Libby Show. It's the Libby. It's the Libby Show. It's the Libby. It's the Libby Show. Hey, I'm Lainey Wilson, and you are watching the Libby Show.
How did she do it? Do it. Do it. Do it.
Libby. Oh, oh. Libby. Oh, oh. Libby.
3, 2,
Libby.
1.
It's the Libby Show.
Hey everybody, welcome to a brand new episode of The Libby Show. I am so excited you're here, and today's guest is Broken Bow Records country artist, Miss Lainey Wilson. Welcome to the show.
What's
How
going
are
on,
you?
Libby? I'm great.
Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad to see
I know.
a human.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
This is awesome. I don't know if I remember how to be interviewed.
I know. Well, you know what? This is going to be so fun, and I just want to congratulate you on over 100K streams on your recent single,
Thank you.
Rolling Stone. It's so good.
Thank you so much, girl. No, it seems like everybody's really loving it, and I'm super proud of that song. I've been, sitting on it for a long time now, and to have it out there is a great feeling. So,
Where did you get the hook idea from?
okay.
Because it's so interesting, and if you haven't watched the video, you need to watch the video with the song, because it's so awesome and timeless.
Thank you, Libby. Yeah, so, all right, I grew up in a little tiny town in northeast Louisiana.
Yeah.
A little town of about 300 people, 299 now that I'm gone. But I've always been the kind of person to have stars in my eyes, and I've always been a dreamer. And when I moved to Nashville, I realized that everybody else who had moved here to do the same thing that I was doing also had a dream at an early age. And so I got in the writing room with Brent Anderson and Tammy Kidd, and Brent had this idea, and don't give a rock to a Rolling Stone, and it just kind of honestly flew out, and we ended up writing it about my childhood sweetheart, and I had dated the same guy for about 7 years, but I knew that I wanted to be in Nashville, and I knew that I wanted to try to do this thing for real, and so that's when I bought my camper and had to let some things go, Yeah. So.
And so when you moved here to Nashville to live in a camper, I know that a lot of people will read that story and be like, oh my gosh, that's so brave. And it also sounds like the timeless story of a traveling singer-songwriter.
Girl.
So what was that like, and how was that time so special to you and your career?
Yeah, so looking back on it, I'm glad that I did it, but I've got to be honest with you, it was extremely hard, and there were some tough times. The bad storms would blow in, and I thought I was going to blow away, but it taught me a whole lot. Yeah, so I bought it was a Flagstaff bumper pull camper trailer, and I bought it when I was about 19, and moved it up here to Nashville, and I lived in it for the first 3 years that I was here, and I've been here for 9 now. But if anything, it taught me that this was not going to be easy, and if you want something bad enough, then you have to put in the time and just be willing to do whatever you have to do to live your dream. And my parents, they helped me buy it, and they were like, we're going to see just how bad you want to be in Nashville and be a singer-songwriter. So after I didn't come home for 3 years, they were like, I guess she's for real. But like I said, I could sit here and tell you camper trailer stories all day long. I mean, there was one time when I was literally in my shower, and on a camper trailer shower, you have the little doors that fling open, and you can latch it shut. That way, when you're driving down the road, it's not, flinging open.
Yeah.
Yes. So my propane was getting low. I knew that I wasn't going to have any hot water left. But I get in there, I'm like, I got to get a shower. So I get in there, my shower's not draining. I have no hot water. Then my shower head breaks off, and I'm basically showering with a water hose. And then I literally said out loud, I said, can this get any worse? And then about that time, I get ready to get out of the shower, and the dang door had locked, and I was just stuck in the shower, and I'm like, here we are.
Oh my gosh.
So a lot of fun stories. Like I said, I'm glad I did it now, but
I'm sure. Was it bittersweet when you past the season of living in the camper?
Yes. Yeah. And I was known as the camper trailer girl and really was okay with it. It was funny because people would be like, so Lainey, where do you live? And I'd be like, I live out in West Nashville. And they'd be like, you have an apartment? And I'd be like, no. And they'd say, you have a house or something? And I'm like, no. And they're like, where do you live? I'm like, I live in a little, about a 20-foot long bumper pull camper trailer. So,
I mean, it's a tiny house on wheels.
It is.
Let's be honest. How cool is that?
I don't need a whole lot to live. So
No. Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm sure that, really helps you also budget for a career as an artist. Like, so many people don't understand, like, there's sacrifices that you have to make.
Absolutely.
As an entertainer, so.
And long story short, there's a guy from my hometown. His name's Jerry Cupid. And he was actually my mentor growing up. And he taught my daddy even how to play guitar. But back in the late 70s, my grandfather had given him like $300 to help him move to Nashville and get started. So as a favor in return, when I decided to move up here in my camper, he let me live in his studio parking lot for free. So
oh my gosh, wow.
We just purchased the camper, and I was, buying groceries and gas and propane, and that was pretty much it. So.
And you had some pretty special writing sessions in this camper as well, one of which with Luke Combs. Yes. So talk about, your friendship with him and being able to be one of his peers and how you've supported each other through all your journeys and
so everything. I'm trying to remember exactly what year it was. It was probably 2015, maybe 14. And I saw Luke, he was playing Tin Roof Revival off of Demumbrian. And I'm not normally the kind of person that hears somebody play or whatever and walks right up to them afterwards and, tries to be like, can I write with you?
Right.
But I just had this overwhelming feeling that Luke was going to be a superstar. And I just remember he was literally sitting there on that pew playing, and he got finished playing, and I walked up to him and I was like, you don't know me, I'm Lainey Wilson, but I want to write with you. And he was like, you want to write with me? And I'm like, yeah. And he said, all right, well, I'll make a trip back and let's write. Yeah. So I was one of his first co-writes in town.
What?
And, we've written a handful of songs together, but we ended up writing this one together when he came out to the trailer. And it's called Share If You Want To. And it's on his EP before his record. And I got to sing on it and do all that stuff. So I thank him all the time for keeping my lights on when I get those little bitty checks in the mail.
Do you remember the first song you did write together?
Oh, man. I think, yes, we never finished it. Me and him, we wrote a duet together, and every time we see each other, we're like, when we going to finish that song? It's pretty dang good. So when both of us slow down, I know he's crazy busy, but he's been so good to me and so supportive, and if I asked him for something, he would absolutely, help me out and vice versa. So love him to death. He's a good boy.
Through these years of working towards where you are right now, especially in your writing, what sort of tips and advice did you receive from those legends who are here in town writing songs for stars? And, how have you learned what your voice is in particular?
Man, I've asked for a lot of advice from a lot of different people. And I feel like I've gotten a lot of advice from a lot of the songwriters here in town because you sit in a room with them for hours at a time every single day, and you really get to know somebody, and you get to know what their struggles are and what they're going through, and a lot of the older songwriters who I write with, actually they started out as artists, so they've been through the ringer before, and they just tell me, they're like, they just basically pump me up and say, roll your sleeves up. Keep being kind, and your time will come, and every song gets better. I feel like every song has its place. I mean, it might be on a shelf or whatever, but I feel like the more you write, the better you just are honing in on that craft, and I think you're just going to continually get better, and that's what they've always encouraged me to do, is just keep on going, and I ain't stopping now.
Keep on keeping on,
that's right,
as they say. What do you love most about being a storyteller?
Oh, man. Yeah. So I got my storytelling actually from my community, like my hometown. There's not a whole lot to do there. I mean, there's not even a caution light. It's just cornfields and dirt roads, and mostly everybody there is my family. But what we would do when there wasn't anything to do, and basically at the end of every single night when my daddy got off the tractor, is we'd sit around the kitchen table and just tell the same old stories over and over again. And that's really, I think, what kind of grabbed my attention when I decided that I want to tell my own stories. You know, I want to tell these stories that you never get tired of listening to. I mean, I have my daddy's high school stories memorized by now, and I'm like, you know, that's pretty cool. I want to try to do that in a song. So yeah, that's where that came from.
Okay, so this is a personal family question. Is your dad a New Holland or John Deere tractor? I ask because my dad's New Holland.
He's a John Deere.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
He's a John Deere. Yep.
That's great. Is that like his full-time job, or is that something he likes to do? I ask because that's what my dad's a dentist, but he loves to farm.
Gotcha. What does he farm?
He farms corn, wheat, sunflowers.
Oh my gosh.
So, yeah.
Man, my daddy and your daddy could talk for hours.
I know, right?
My daddy's a banker too. He's he's a loan officer for farmers. And but he farms a whole lot. I mean, his farming is really a full-time job too. He farms corn, wheat, soybeans, oats.
Yes.
And we have horses, but and then he has like a dirt hauling business. And then he like buys and sells horses. He'll like train them and then sell. Anyway, I'm gonna tell you right now, that man, if anything, he taught me how to work. So.
Yes. Yeah. My dad taught me how to mow the lawn at age 8. And then looking back, I was like, why would you make an 8-year-old? Like, and now I'm like, actually, that was a really great skill to have.
Yep.
You know?
I know.
Way before anyone else.
He put me on the tractor and said, I'm not gonna let you plant, but I'm gonna let you learn how to disc up the land. So
yes.
It's hard to mess that up.
Of course. I want to bring up your Grand Ole Opry debut.
Yes.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you so much.
What did it feel like? In hindsight, what does it feel like?
It's just like a dream. I mean, I got to go to the Grand Ole Opry when I was 9 years old. I know we'll probably talk about this too. I'm probably jumping the gun. But my parents took me to Dollywood when I was 9. And I begged them, leaving Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge in that area, I said, please, let's just drive through Nashville. And so they did, and we went to the Grand Ole Opry, and I remember exactly where I was sitting on the pew. My sister was passed out. She could care less. You know, that Bill Anderson and Crystal Gale, little Jimmy Dickens, and Phil Vassar were up there. She just, like, didn't even know. And I just remember sitting there just eating a bunch of popcorn and just daydreaming about being up there. And here we are, however many years later. I can't believe they let me step foot in that same exact circle that all my heroes have stood. Yeah. It was overwhelming. It was like I could feel the Holy Spirit. It was wild.
What's been your favorite performance that you've seen at the Grand Ole Opry?
Man, golly.
Most memorable, maybe.
Probably one that I was not actually even there, but my dear friend Ashley McBride.
Nice.
And I know how special it was for her to have her debut there too. And I just remember, you know, watching the tape back, and I just boo-hooed and cried the entire time. And just because I understood exactly how she felt. Mm-hmm. And which she got to debut a while before me. But that is like, if you haven't seen that performance, you've got to go watch it, because I'm going to tell you right now. Whew.
Yeah, on YouTube?
Yes.
So you Google it? Mm-hmm. Awesome. And so you got to go to the UK last year as well. You've done a lot of traveling, especially thankfully before all the quarantine stuff happened.
Girl.
But you got to go to the UK.
Yes.
So talk about, you know, their appreciation for country music, what you saw in that.
It's crazy. So we actually, within a year, we went over there 3 times. And they kept asking for us to come back, so we kept on going. And it's crazy because the first time I went over there, I'm like, you know, I can't believe that people here really like country music and, you know, whatever. And then we get there, and they didn't know me from Adam, but they saw, you know, my name on the flyer and on the advertisement and stuff. And they went and learned every song that I had out. So they literally, while I was playing it,
wow,
the crowd was singing it. And I'm like, I'm here in London, and people are singing my lyrics back to me. What in the world is happening? But every time we go over there, it just continues to grow. And they are some country music loving people. I'm sure,
with C2C and, you know, all of that.
It's nuts.
So.
They love it, and they really love lyrics, and they love, you know, listening. And that sounds crazy when I say like they love listening, but they truly do. Like, they listen to they're a sucker for the melodies, but also the lyrics and the hooks, and that's what we work so hard for, you know. So it's nice when people actually notice, you know, like I see what you did there kind of thing.
Exactly. A song over there that you really enjoyed playing that people responded to the most.
Man, probably my song Middle Finger.
Yeah.
But a funny thing is they don't actually use their middle finger over there. They I'm not gonna flip the camera off, by the way, but they actually, this is what they do.
Oh,
So I brought it home.
I throw peace signs all the time.
I know,
So
well,
much
this
trouble.
way, but they do it this way, and so I
Okay.
brought it home, and I was doing it to people, and they had no clue what I was doing to them. So
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So what do you miss most about performing live? Like, what are you excited to get back to? Because I know at some point you're going to go on tour with Reba, which congratulations.
thank you.
So awesome.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I miss feeding off of people's energy. Like, to be honest with you, this right here, the conversation that we're having
It's
face
so
to face,
refreshing.
is doing me some good. And I didn't even realize how bad that I needed it. And yeah, no, it's my therapy. Getting on stage and pouring my heart out for 30 minutes or whatever. Like, I did not realize how much that was really, like, you know, my saving grace. And I just can't wait to get up there and
Yeah.
get
And
back
really
at
see
it.
people enjoy music in
Yes.
real life.
Yep.
And I feel like even now we're learning about how important that is to all of us.
Yep.
You know, to listen to music and, you know,
are.
see someone's energy on stage,
Yes.
see how they're responding, how you're responding to a song that means so much to you
Yep.
in that moment.
Yep.
So
It's wild.
let's talk about more of those songs. Another recent in particular, about Miss Dolly Parton, WWDD.
That's right, girl.
Yes, it's
What would
so
Dolly
good.
do?
And the visuals, if you haven't watched the video, that's amazing as well. So talk about that song and why you chose Dolly to be the inspiration for one of your singles.
She's always been one of my, like, biggest inspirations and idols, and she's just been a huge influence in my life, not only musically, but just everything from her personality
Yeah.
to her sense of humor, her style. She's got such a giving heart. She's an incredible businesswoman. She's got Dollywood. I
Yes.
mean, like, she's just killing it, and she's been killing it forever. And I think we all could be a little bit more like Dolly, and the world would be, you know, a whole lot better. But when I'm going through things and I don't really know what the heck to do, I just ask myself,
What would Dolly do?
WWDD, baby.
What about her in particular? Is there something specific that has led you to look to her as a role model? Maybe something that she said, or maybe something that she, you know, wears consistently or does consistently. Something about her personality.
Man, yes, honestly, all of it.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't really know anybody who don't love Dolly. And I feel like in times of trouble and whatever, she always looks on the bright side of things, and she always is positive. And I mean, I'm sure this whole quarantine, you know, COVID-19 thing is terrifying to her too, but she has literally not let it slow her down. I mean, she's been online, she's been reading books to kids, she's been basically getting online and saying, you know, like, uplifting basically prayers for people, and I know that it's coming straight from the heart, because you can just tell.
Yeah.
And she's just that kind of person. I haven't met her yet,
But I got to meet her once, and I feel like some idols, you walk in the room and you get really nervous, which is completely normal.
Yeah.
And I thought I was going to be so nervous, and she looked at me and she was like, "How's it going?" Like, and it felt like I was just talking to somebody that I've known forever.
Yep.
It is the most surreal. I
No.
mean, what you see is what you get. Like,
I have not heard a bad word about her. So I can only hope that one day, you know, people talk about me the same way that I talk about Dolly, because I love you.
in her new podcast, or not the new podcast, but the podcast they did about her, or produced about her, Dolly Parton's America. I learned so much
too.
about that and her story, and
It's wild.
yeah.
It's, you know, she has not let anything stop her or slow her down, and it's just inspiring. I mean, you know, and she knew, I feel like her and I both have a lot in common when it comes to, like, knowing what we wanted at a very early age.
Yeah.
Like, I wrote my first song when I was 9 years old and started playing guitar at 11, and I think her ages kind of line up with that too, which I just thought was kind of cool, because
Yes.
it's Dolly. But But yeah, no, I loved that podcast. I listened to it on the way home to Louisiana not too long ago, and just learned so much more about her, and she just gets better and better.
I know. Well, I didn't know as much about the behind the scenes and the evolution of the Porter Wagner show and her involvement. I knew like the bits and pieces and like rumors or just like looking up stuff online, but to hear her take on how all of that affected her and his, influence on her as an artist and as a female artist.
It's crazy.
Is really, really cool.
No, it is. And I feel like there's always like that person that's going to like, help you figure it out and get to that next level. And I think Porter was that for her. And she just made it so clear on there that she's always going to be thankful for him. And even if, they had a little bit of baggage or whatever, like water under the bridge kind of thing, which I love about her.
Yes. And she's thankful for the good in
Yep.
people.
Yep.
So going off of that, I thought we would play a little game of what would Dolly do?
Yep.
And so I'm going to name off a couple of scenarios that I came up with. Okay. And you're going to tell me what you would do based off of what Dolly would do in those situations. Okay. So the first situation is if you need a pick-me-up,
okay,
what would Dolly do?
Pour a glass of wine, turn on a good record, and laugh a lot.
Yes. Yes. Every single weekend. Maybe almost every other day during quarantine.
Honestly, yes. I've gone through some wine. I'm not proud of it.
Go-to party outfit. What would Dolly do? What would Dolly wear, I guess?
Sequins and fringe, bell bottoms, big hair, big everything.
You really work the bell bottoms, I gotta say. Keep it up, always and forever.
Girl, I love them. I've got way too many of them.
Stage ritual. How do you get rid of the nerves?
Like, what would she do?
Yes.
I think she'd do a little vocal warm up and then probably take a little shot of whiskey.
Yes. Are you a whiskey girl? Mm-hmm. Yes, I love it. I wish I had a glass of Cheers You right now.
Ooh, girl.
What's your favorite whiskey?
Any kind of whiskey. My go-to's like Jack.
Yeah.
But any kind of whiskey. I'm not picky.
When you need to cheer up a friend, what would Dolly do?
A slap on the butt and say, "Girl, you better keep that chin up." And I think she would just throw her a lot of, love and kindness and say, "Get it together, sister."
Yes. I love that. Well, that was awesome. Those are such good answers. Guys, comment below with your answers to what would Dolly do and let us know. So your new album is coming out very soon, later this year. Talk about what people can expect and where they can follow you. And
yes. Okay. You can follow me, Lainey Wilson Music, Lainey on Instagram, Lainey Wilson on Facebook, all that good stuff. But we're going to continue to put out new music and just keep them coming, keep them rolling. And then the rest of the record will be coming out, hopefully, around the end of the year. And I just can't wait to share it with y'all.
I can't wait either.
It's going to be great. I'm excited.
Yes. Well, I'm excited for you, and thank you so much for joining us for this episode. I cannot wait for people to watch you perform, which she's going to perform an acoustic performance of
Rolling Stone.
Oh my gosh, yay! In just a second. So check it out, LaineyWilson.com, and then visit her on Instagram, Lainey Wilson Music. And thank you so much for watching.
Thanks, Libby.
See you guys.
Waking up here in your arms, I feel like a queen in your king-size bed. The sun's lighting up your face in the dark, and I see the wheels turning in your head. Think you're the one just gonna turn me right, give me a ring and settle me down. Got a little hold on me, don't get me wrong. Baby, my heart runs wild and free. You gotta know before you fall for me. Like a feather in the wind, I could be gone. No, you don't. No, you don't give a rock to a rolling stone. Ain't got a thing to do with love. I was born to roll like a tumbleweed does, and I belong to a long highway. And there it goes, calling my name, calling my name, calling my name. Think you're the one who's gonna turn me around, give me a ring and settle me down. Got a little hold on me, don't get me wrong. Baby, my heart runs wild and free. You got no 44 for me. Like a feather in the wind, I could be gone. No, you don't give a rock to a rolling stone. No, you don't give a rock to a rolling stone. Y'all go check out Rolling Stone. Again, my name is Lainey Wilson.
It's the Libby Show. The Libby Show. It's the Libby Show. It's the Libby Show.